Imagine standing at the heart of a vast empire, stretching from the peaks of the Andes to the Pacific coast, where gold glitters under the harsh sunlight and roads span thousands of miles. At its center stands a man who will soon face a destiny shaped by betrayal, conquest, and tragedy. Atahualpa, the last emperor of the Inca Empire. This is not just a story about power. It's about two worlds colliding. On one side, a mighty empire built on centuries of tradition and conquest. On the other, a band of ruthless Spanish conquistadors led by a cunning adventurer named Francisco Pizarro. So how did a single moment of miscalculation lead to the downfall of one of the greatest empires the world has ever known? Let's uncover the story of Atahualpa, the last emperor of the Inca. Atahualpa was born around 1502, the son of the Inca Emperor Huayna Capac. The Inca Empire at this time was at its peak. It stretched over 2,500 miles, covering modern-day Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, and parts of Chile and Argentina. It was the largest empire in the Americas, built on sophisticated engineering, a complex road system, and a highly organized society. But power in the Inca world was fragile. After Huayna Capac died, likely from smallpox brought by European explorers, a bitter succession crisis erupted between Atahualpa and his half-brother, Huáscar. Atahualpa had been raised in the northern part of the empire in Quito, while Huáscar ruled from the imperial capital of Cuzco. The two brothers were polar opposites. Huáscar was known for his strict and traditional rule, while Atahualpa was a military leader, respected by the northern armies for his strength and charisma. The rivalry escalated into full-blown civil war. Atahualpa, backed by his fierce generals Calcucamac and Quisquis, led a brutal campaign against Huáscar's forces. The fighting was intense, and Atahualpa showed no mercy. After a decisive battle near the city of Cuzco, Atahualpa's forces captured Huáscar, effectively ending the war. Atahualpa emerged victorious. He was now the undisputed ruler of the Inca Empire. But his triumph would be short-lived, because at that very moment, Francisco Pizarro was making his way toward the heart of the empire with less than 200 men. In 1532, Francisco Pizarro and his small band of conquistadors landed on the coast of Peru. They were vastly outnumbered. The Inca Empire had a standing army of tens of thousands of soldiers. But the Spanish had three deadly advantages: steel, horses, and disease. Pizarro had heard rumors of the vast wealth of the Inca and was determined to claim it for Spain. He marched inland toward Cajamarca, where Atahualpa was celebrating his recent victory over Huáscar. Atahualpa was confident. He had just crushed his rival and commanded the largest army in the Americas. He saw the Spanish as nothing more than a group of strange, bearded men, intriguing but not threatening. Pizarro sent a message requesting a meeting with Atahualpa. The Inca emperor agreed, thinking it was a mere formality. After all, why would a handful of foreigners pose a threat to the most powerful empire in South America? What followed would become one of the most infamous betrayals in history. On November 16, 1532, Atahualpa entered the main square of Cajamarca, surrounded by thousands of his warriors. He was carried on a golden litter, dressed in ceremonial robes. The Spanish were hidden in the buildings around the square, armed and waiting. A Dominican friar, named Vicente de Valverde, approached Atahualpa, holding a Bible. He explained that the Spanish king ruled by divine authority and demanded that Atahualpa accept Christianity and swear loyalty to the Spanish crown. Atahualpa, unimpressed, took the Bible, examined it, and threw it to the ground. That was all the excuse Pizarro needed. Pizarro gave the signal, and the Spanish opened fire. The roar of muskets and the sound of clashing steel filled the square. The Inca warriors, unarmed and unprepared, were slaughtered. Spanish cavalry charged through the square, cutting down anyone in their path. Atahualpa remained calm, even as his guards were killed around him. Pizarro himself seized Atahualpa and took him prisoner. In a single day, the Inca army had been decimated, and Atahualpa, the emperor of the most powerful empire in the Americas, was a prisoner. Atahualpa was no fool. He understood the Spanish lust for gold and made an offer that stunned even Pizarro. He promised to fill a room, 22 feet long, 17 feet wide, and 8 feet high, with gold. In addition, he would fill 2 more rooms with silver. The Spanish eagerly agreed. Over the next several months, caravans of gold and silver poured into Cajamarca from across the empire. Statues, plates, ornaments, and jewelry. It is estimated that the total ransom was worth over $200 million in today's money. But despite fulfilling his promise, Atahualpa's fate was sealed. The Spanish began to worry that the Inca were regrouping. Pizarro accused Atahualpa of plotting a rebellion, a false charge, and put him on trial. He was found guilty and sentenced to death. On July 26, 1533, Atahualpa was led to the center of the square. He was given a choice: die by burning at the stake or convert to Christianity and be strangled. Fearing that his soul would not pass into the afterlife if his body was burned, Atahualpa agreed to baptism. He was then executed by garrote, strangled with a rope. Pizarro had promised that he would spare Atahualpa's life if he converted. But in the end, the Spanish ambition for gold and power won out. With Atahualpa dead, the Inca Empire began to collapse. The Spanish marched on Cuzco and claimed it in 1533. Within a few years, the once great empire lay in ruins. The fall of the Inca was not just the end of civilization. It was the beginning of European domination in the Americas. Atahualpa's story is a reminder of how quickly empires can rise and fall. In a single moment of betrayal, centuries of tradition were wiped away. But the memory of Atahualpa, the last emperor of the Inca, lives on.